Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Baka podcast.
Baka.
It's amazing how every time you open your mouth, you prove you're an idiot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Baka. We're an anime podcast where every 2 weeks we come together to talk about an anime we've recently watched in a book club style format, even though we're watching anime. We don't read.
Well, you.
You either. It's what you said a while back.
I'm just calling out Troy for being the manga reader here.
Oh, that's true. Troy reads things with pictures.
I read books too.
I don't.
I try, and then like with some of them lately, I was like, "Oh my god, this book is so bad," and I tore it up and threw it in the trash.
Yeah, destroying books. Good sign.
It
To
was
talk
crap.
about our anime, which is Sakamoto Days, I need the help of my co-hosts, and I'm going to introduce them and give them a chance to do their anime hot take. First off, we have the corn dog to my deli department. It's Jeremy.
Even in 2025, XCOM 2 is awesome, and it should be an anime. There, that's how I made it like a hot take about anime, which is the very end. That worked.
I love how everyone but me on this podcast break the rules, but that's fine. I'm not salty.
Hot takes suck.
How about we have a rule you can't keep bringing that up every week? We also have the tabloid to my checkout line. It's Jason.
Bat Boy screams again. I think that if you have enough seasons to go over 100 episodes in an anime, it's too long.
Yeah, Pokemon. Shots fired.
One Piece.
And my name is Troy, and my anime hot take is that if the Crunchyroll Anime Awards are going to continue to be run the way they are, they might as well change their name to the Teen Choice Awards and start sliming the winners.
Ooh,
Ooh, I think that
sizzling.
one.
Yeah. You guys know what won, right?
No, not a clue.
Solo Leveling, best anime of the year.
Are you
It's got
kidding me?
the best scores. Everyone agrees.
Wow.
Every 13-year-old agrees.
Oh my god.
There's probably like some man's like, I actually really like that, guys. I'm sorry.
I couldn't stop watching season 2.
Yep.
Yep.
So that just kind of proves my point. Let's move on. We are again talking about Sakamoto Days. We're going to start with our non-spoiler review so you can get a taste of what we thought. And I don't remember who picked it. No one needs to be held responsible for this. Things happen. Let's go to Jason. What do you think?
Could have sworn there was someone here. It wasn't
I
me.
know it wasn't me.
Well, it wasn't Jeremy.
We can all spend time trying to figure out who did this, or you can just give us your non-spoiler review.
That's what the guilty person would say.
That's not my hot dog car.
It is rough, I think is the best way to put it. It wants to be a comedy in a very specific area and then decides to branch out into all these ways that just don't work. Or at least they didn't work for me. I wasn't sure what this anime wanted to be. I wasn't sure how they were trying to set up their jokes to land. But I didn't find myself having a good time with it. So,
Jeremy, your thoughts?
I think in a vacuum, some of the jokes were pretty good. I liked how they landed. There's a couple that are just consistent. It's the same joke over and over again, and it never got stale, which I like that. That's pretty impressive when that happens. But for the most part, I'm in Jason's boat as well. I was not impressed by the anime. Um, I have a lot of nitpicky things that just really bugged the heck out of me, and I knew it was trying to be a comedy anime, and I say trying because not all the jokes landed. Some of them landed pretty well, but not all the jokes landed. And the contrast was so strong with the more serious storyline and the other things that were going on. It just it didn't taste right. The way that the flavors mingled. Um yeah, I had a really hard time with this one.
Every once in a while, an anime comes along that really refreshes your soul, reminds you why you. I'm just kidding. I didn't like this at all. I went in with really high expectations too. It touches on a theme, and I had previewed the first episode. In that first episode, it previewed some themes that I'm like, yeah, I love that. Why would a hitman choose to become a husband and father? And I'm like, yeah, let's do that. That is up my alley. And then the anime happened. We'll go into details in the spoiler section, but mostly I found both the anime production value low, which is not always
Yeah.
the biggest, sometimes you just don't have the budget and I can move past that. But the general story of what Sakamoto Days was, I didn't enjoy. I found even the writing to be lazy and very superficial. I mostly agree with what these guys said about the comedy not working and not landing. So yeah, I'm a bit bummed out. I had high hopes for this one.
What was that short story one where it was the mafia guy that started cooking?
The Way of the House Husband.
I was hoping we would get something closer to that, and unfortunately, here we are.
Which is a fantastic series, and yeah, it that very much knows what it wants to be, and it nails what it wants to be by like, oh, we're mixing peanut butter and pickles, and that's
Hmm.
hilarious, and it is. Yeah. There's a couple anime I have written down that are like they wanted to be like this all at the same time, and it just doesn't work, and that's one of them. All right, your guys' thoughts on the opening and closing?
They were serviceable. Both of them were fine. I didn't watch them more than twice. Um, the opening is better than the closing. I like the song. The visuals are good, but then it reminded me that I was watching this anime. So
Yeah. Yeah, I thought they were fine. The only thing I can really say about the OP is that it kind of starts off with a sort of slice of life feel and then moves into, oh, there's going to be enemies. Here's the introduction to all the foes. So there's actually an action anime going on here. Other than that, there wasn't really any complexity to it. It was just an introduction to characters.
Yeah, both felt very by the book. Nothing really original in them. The only one I want to shout out is there is a different ending in one of the episodes that focuses on the order and the characters in that was in black and white, and that was actually I thought that one was pretty cool. And I was like, oh, is this the new ending? Because this is pretty good. And they went right back to the old ending right after that. So it is what it is. And before we go on to our spoiler section, we need to announce our next anime, which is Mao 2099.
or Demon Lord 2099. The Demon Lord comes to the future, and how's he going to take over the world? He needs to become a streamer.
It's not by working at McDonald's.
If you read the plot summary, you're like, okay, I'm with you. This seems pretty normal. Okay. Video game streaming. Oh boy. So, that's our next anime. We're gonna see. Let's talk about video game streaming. That'll be a fun conversation with this group.
I'm really trying to figure out
no.
how is that going to how is he going to actually have anything to surmount any obstacles, anything that actually threatens him? Is it all in the virtual world? I don't know. That's weird.
At
Yeah, I
the
don't know.
very least, it's unique. There was an anime a little while ago about like an ancient Chinese general getting sent to modern Japan and learning to be a music manager, using his tactics to take over. So it's something that they're doing with of like, hey, what about a fantastical character doing something normal in the normal world? But also, there's a cyberpunk whole vibe to this world that we're watching. It'll be interesting to see. We'll talk about that one next time. All right, spoiler warning for Sakamoto Days. And here we go. Also, if you're a really big fan of this anime,
So sorry.
We'll
so
see you
sorry.
next week or next episode. Yeah. Come back soon. There's no defenders here unless you want to type in the comments why it's great.
You can be the defender.
And you will not get bashed on because everyone's opinion is valid. We're just three idiots. We don't know what we're talking about. That is the concept of the show.
And we happen to agree.
Three idiots agreeing isn't that big of an achievement.
Fair.
All right. So the anime starts with the introduction of the character of Sakamoto. We see him take out a bunch of guys with guns, mafia guys, hitmen, whatever. Doesn't matter. They're in suits. They got guns. He's killing them, dodging bullets, deflecting bullets. He's basically superhuman, which is fine. That's just what he is. Your guys is, and then we learned that he retired because he fell in love with a grocery store checkout woman, and they had a baby, and he got fat and now manages his own store. And that's our Sakamoto. Your guys' thoughts on the character?
The first episode, I was like, I feel very insulted because I got married and then I got fat, and so now here we are. No, I'm just kidding. But well, I'm not kidding about that, but I'm kidding about being insulted.
Yeah, I'm actually ripped, guys.
Right. No, I feel seen. No, he's in how do I describe it? He's not quite the perspective for the audience, yet he's also not, obviously he doesn't, not obviously, but he doesn't deliver any dialogue that's of any consequence. But he is the sole like theme and focus of this anime, and I just don't like him. He's the anime could happen without him, is basically what it comes down to.
Troy's having a seizure over there.
Your thoughts?
I don't dislike him quite as much, but he tried so hard, or they tried so hard to make him this just accidentally awesome, amazing, over the top, edgy, cool guy who's also dopey and silly and oblivious, but he's also like really deep and knows everybody, and he can also punch through metal and concrete, and if anything's in his hands, it becomes impervious to everything else. Like he'll stop bullets with chopsticks, ricochet
His
bullets with
glasses.
his glasses.
He stops a bullet with his glasses.
Mm-hmm.
They do call out he wears bulletproof glasses, though.
Oh yeah, what happens to that? What happens to that impact from the
just
bullet?
saying. Look, the chopsticks one is better than the glasses because they don't say these are bulletproof chopsticks. They say they're
Right.
bulletproof glasses.
Or
the
cuts
metal cables with a paper.
No.
Yeah, or the fork. The fork. Point blank range. Point blank.
And he doesn't even like stop it by blocking it. He literally like reaches up and catches the bullet when it's halfway through and like pins it between the prongs of the fork. The things he does are so over the top ridiculous, all the while the enemies that are attacking him are like, oh my God, he's just a normal human. He's just a normal human. How is he doing these things? He's so crazy. This is why he's the best ever at what he does, because he's just a normal human. And I'm like, this is trying to be cool. Like, it's like somebody sat down and went, oh man, and then he did this, and then it'd be so cool if he did this, and then and then he stopped the bullet this way, and then oh man, and then imagine if this happened, he just like punches through it like it doesn't matter. And with One Punch Man existing, you can't just do that and not deliver on all the other fronts. It just looks cheap. And not well thought out. So yeah, I had a really rough time with him. I loved when they punched the fat right off of him. I thought that was amazing. The first time it happened, I was sitting there and I was like, did he seriously just punch the fat off him? Is that what happened? And the anime went with it. And then I realized his mustache was gone too. And I was like, wait, how do you explain that? And then he's fat the next day. So like that's another thing that really bugged me is nothing was consistent about the guy. And it was just whatever's cool, whatever's funny. Yeah, it's more of an issue with the anime than the character, but
Yeah, you were
the
a little off
character,
topic.
yeah, the character is like who it happens to the most, and so I tie the issues to him.
Look, I obviously agree about this anime is not great, but complaining about physics in a gag anime that clearly shows you that physics don't matter and that it doesn't care about physics, and then being like, but the physics,
Mhm.
they told you the physics don't matter.
Then what's at stake?
Nothing. It's a gag anime.
Then
This
why
is
do
a
you have such
comedy.
heavy, edgy scenes? Why do you
Now
present enemies?
that is a fair complaint, but complaining about like we in the first episode he blocks bullets with chopsticks.
Mhm.
At that point, you should just let go. Like, okay, nothing matters.
That
Yeah,
would
he
be
got.
fine if they didn't have the edgy scenes that are trying to bring it back down to reality.
I agree. I agree with that. But I just think again the anime very clearly communicates, hey, we don't care about physics, we don't care about being realistic. This is a guy whose mustache disappears when he gets powerful and then grows back the next day just because it does. And they even
The-
call out, like, wait, how did that happen? And he's like, "Mm." Like
Mhm.
it's literally a joke in the thing that he got the fat back in a day, but you're complaining about it like they needed to explain it. The
No,
whole point is there is no explanation. It's the joke.
I don't want an
It's not a
explanation.
funny joke.
That's my complaint. My complaint is that they didn't. It's not that they didn't explain the physics. It's that the jokes are dumb.
Right. It's a gag anime.
Yeah,
It's
but the
all
gags are
done.
bad. When One Punch Man annihilates a dude in one punch, it's awesome almost every time, and
But
it's
it's not a
because
gag.
it's the
Yeah, that's not a
music.
gag.
It's it.
That's just
Okay,
an
fine.
action anime.
But then this guy, he punches through concrete, or he launches a dude into inside a vending machine. But he never kills anybody. It's like, okay,
The
Yeah,
gag in One Punch Man is that he can't kill the fly in the first episode. He can punch a meteor back into space, but a fly gets into his apartment and he can't do anything about it. That's the gag. Just so we're clear on what comedy is.
and that's a
Yeah.
funny gag.
Well, I
Oh,
don't
okay.
Yes.
Thank you for describing me what's funny. I'm glad we've defined that.
Well, I honestly would not have a problem with the gag if this was just a gag anime. Because
Right.
you're right. That's totally fine. If you want to break the rules of physics and whatever, fine. But don't
Like
try to tell
Gintama.
me.
Like if you want to be
Yeah.
Gintama, another anime I wrote down as something it's trying to be. Gintama's like, hey, we're a silly parody. We have aliens, but also taxis, and it's samurai days. We're just mixing it all together, and we don't care about the through line.
Yeah.
And they let you know that, and it's fine. And they make their jokes work based on that premise.
Gurren Lagann's another example of a gag anime that makes its
No,
jokes work with ridiculous
not.
ideas.
Nope.
If you're gonna do something like that, at least be consistent in your world.
You're gonna throw in cheap shots, and honestly, the biggest thing I'm pushing back on is prevent the comments that are going to come in of don't Jason and Jeremy understand that the physics don't matter in a comedy anime? If that's your basis of the complaint,
What
just
is
want you guys
funny?
to clarify that you didn't think the joke was funny because that's a very fair observation.
Well, I just don't think that a gag anime should have such serious scenes. Just be a gag anime.
I 100% agree with that.
Then I would be able to be like, oh, it's Tom and Jerry. It's silly. It's stupid. I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So context. In a vacuum, it's fine.
But yeah, I saw the man catch bullets with chopsticks and then take a rocket punch and not be able to dodge it. And I'm like, all right, so nothing matters. Which, if that's not your taste too, that could spoil it for 100% for sure. But I was like, yeah, you've communicated to me very clearly what to expect for the next 11 episodes. My thoughts on Sakamoto though is he's actually one of the parts I like about the anime. I like the character. I like the whole.
You would.
I think it's a cool character to have. Hey, he's the coolest, darkest, most dangerous assassin in the world. But a lady talks to him and he loses his mind, and now he's a fatty. And I enjoyed it. Also, I have a lot of issues with the English dub, which is what I listen to. I'm gonna get to him in the next character, but the Sakamoto voice was pretty good. It's Matthew Mercer, the guy from Critical Role.
No way.
He does Overwatch.
I like that guy. Yeah.
He does the cowboy in Overwatch. He
Mhm.
does other stuff too. But yeah, he's a good voice actor, and his gravitas carried through. I don't know if it quite matched the character's appearance in either form, but the voice acting was good and carried with it some weight when he did the few times he talks.
Hmm.
Now, go to the opposite side of that coin. While in his grocery store, he's visited by a young former colleague named Shin, who's a clairvoyant and an assassin. Your guys' thoughts on Shin?
If it was a more serious anime, I think this would be a decent character, especially if he hid the fact that he like hid it more, because like he announces it to nearly anybody he runs into. Oh yeah, I can read minds. Okay. Because I think that gives you an interesting edge in a world of assassins, where you can not only read minds, but you can pinpoint where those thoughts are coming from. I also did like the limitation of he can only read vocal thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So like, is someone talking to themselves? He can't like read underlying thoughts. I thought that was interesting, and then he just ends up being, I don't know, he just seemed to be the only thing driving the plot forward every episode. It was like, oh, Shin has to do this, or Shin has to overcome this challenge, or shit. It's like he became the main character, and he wasn't a great main character.
He is the main character.
It's called Sakamoto Days. What are you talking about?
Because he's spending his days with Sakamoto.
He works in the Sakamoto store. Sakamoto's in the anime. He is the main character.
You know, I actually didn't think about it until now, but I do have to agree with Troy. Like you pointed it out too, Jason, that Shin is
Yeah.
the one that everything's focused on.
Yeah,
he's our audience POV. We're
yeah, okay. Well, I don't like this character, and I don't like that he's the point of view or the main
if
character.
If it was called Shin Days, you'd be fine though.
No. I'm just saying, I was under the impression that Sakamoto was our main subject, and
whoa, what did you say about Sakamoto? Holy crap.
Censorship.
You got censored by Discord.
Oh, dang it, Discord. No, I thought Sakamoto was our main subject, but apparently I was mistaken.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Actually, until Troy said that, I thought Sakamoto was the main character, but and I was kind of, Shin never really took the spotlight for me. Like he wasn't an engaging enough character. I didn't like his design or the way they drew his face. Some of the other characters, yeah, maybe they weren't great art-wise, but Shin was consistently really difficult to look at. It reminded me of images I'd seen of like Clanad eyes, the big praying mantis eyes, the anime that is known for that. It's just really unsettling almost. It looks like someone who isn't really comfortable drawing anime was trying to draw it.
I had the exact same thought. It's all over the entire anime, but Shin is the worst, and it reminded me of like when South Park does an anime, or
Yeah.
Family Guys like does an anime gag. It is what someone else's idea of anime is, and so they make the guys just a
Mhm.
little too much anime. Um,
Yep.
it's not just Shin, but Shin is the worst offender. Every
Mhm.
time I'm looking at it, I'm like, ooh, I think the whole animation is pretty bad in this one,
Mhm.
but Shin is definitely the worst. I 100% was right there with you.
Yeah. And beyond that, I actually really enjoyed his mind reading capability. In the sub, he's a psychic. He reads minds. Um, and it has some of the best gags. This is the gag I was referring to where he's like, "Why are you killing me in your mind again?" Like that happened every couple episodes. And it was always great. It always came out of nowhere, shocked you and made you laugh because then you realized, "Oh, that was just what he saw."
Right, because
Um,
you don't see that it's in the mind. You just see Sakamoto
oh,
kill
he's
him,
dead.
and then
Yeah.
and then the screen wipes up and it shows it's in a cloud bubble.
Uh-huh. And Shin's standing up going, "Why'd you kill me in your mind again? Don't stop doing that." So that's pretty funny. I like how they used Shin's ability. They did it more than once, and it was neat. It wasn't the most innovative when they did it the second time, but it was still like fine. If you have, especially if he's the protagonist, it really makes sense. Like in Fire Force, Firefoot dude is gonna do Firefoot dude stuff, right? And he's going to solve his problems with that. So it makes sense that Shin's going to solve his problems the same way, or Sakamoto is going to help him solve those problems the same way. Um, Specifically, I'm thinking about when like someone is telling him what they're going to do and they're punching in order for him to dodge or whatever, or to do the action.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and I liked how they had some foils for his ability. Like it doesn't work here, doesn't work there. Not just in the rule set, but also in the way other characters tweaked things. Um, I didn't have a huge issue with him. I actually thought there were some nice scenes when he was interacting with Lou. And you could tell there was at least a little bit of story going on there and character development going on. I wouldn't say an arc, but at least something was happening. Um, yeah. So he was fine. I had the least issues with.
and I would say Sakamoto and Shin are sharing the primary protagonist. I think there's actually a name for it. I don't remember it. Um,
Deuteragonist.
yeah, that's
Mhm.
really what they are. But Shin is the one that has a character arc to go through, where Sakamoto is static because he's already made his decision and he's changing people around him. Uh, it's a formula that works. My biggest issue with Shin, and I say this as someone who is on a podcast called Baka Baka Baka. Uh, just want to call that out, but this guy's voice actor, English dub, is really bad.
Oh
Um,
no.
to the point where if I can hear it, that's bad because I usually would not notice. It would mostly get past me. But I even said, I have a feeling this guy's never voice acted before. And I went and looked, and this is his only voice credit
Oh
role.
no.
He is an actor. He's done movies, a project that I think would get him more lambasted at this moment. So I won't bring up what movies he's been in, but he's a normal actor who they brought in to do voice work. And his there's just something different about voice acting. You have to emote a little bit more. You can't do it with your body and your face, and so he's very static. Um, Jeremy, don't look it up. You don't need to know.
I have to know.
It's the new Last Airbender, not the first one, the remake of Last Airbender. He played Prince Zuko, um, which
Oh.
I haven't seen, but I haven't heard great things. But like
In
I
the
said,
live action one?
yeah,
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. But like I said, I assume it didn't go great. But not the point. Point is, Matthew Mercer doing a great job,
Man,
and then you have Shin, who's like, not.
Troy throwing shade.
I am. I am only because it hurt the character's reception. It hurt storytelling, and it's not the guy's fault. You don't bring in a rookie into your main
Yeah,
protagonist for
they should be
voice
in the
acting.
supporting role first.
Right? Yeah, let them learn
Growth.
how to voice act.
Mhm.
You got Matthew Mercer. Yuri Lowenthal is busy. What's going on? I don't know. Mostly he's just he's fine. He's mostly fine. I did like I thought it was interesting that they gave him psychic powers. That seems like something you'd give a villain and the good guys have to overcome. Because it can create some storytelling roadblocks, right? Like oh god, he can read minds. How are we gonna get past this? So it was cool they gave it to him. It led to some cool scenes, but
I did think it was
he
weird
looked
that
funky.
there was like one episode where he just says, "Oh, something's weird about this place. My mind powers don't work." And I'm like, "Well, that's really convenient. It's
I must
super
be
convenient."
I must be a little tired right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Um. All right. So in our first episode, he is sent to recruit Sakamoto back into the assassins.
The JAA, Japan's Assassination
It-
Association or something like that.
so when I say there's lazy writing in this, you guys think, hey, a mustache disappeared and then came back the next day.
Mhm.
I think you have a guy who's like, I'm the boss, and Sakamoto has to come back, but then you find out that Sakamoto was in the order and way bigger than this guy ever could have been, and that no one else has a problem with Sakamoto having left the assassination. So this random guy having an issue with it and demanding he be killed isn't real. It's just literally a machination to get things moving.
I think that was the biggest issue I had with this entire anime is like half the population of Japan are hitmen.
Yes.
It's like
And unionized.
right.
Yes.
And so it's just it's exhausting that
Mhm.
every episode is he's being hunted by another idiotic can't get the job done assassin.
My other issue that goes hand in hand with that is that the assassins are treated as both the most evil villains you've ever met and superheroes of this world, and they flip on a dime because in a stuff like One Punch Man, you chose superheroes versus supervillains, so you've established what your main group is. They're like, they just kind of like, oh yeah, when they're against Sakamoto, they're evil. How could they want to kill? And then the next episode, they're like, oh, they're good guys, and they're gonna kill to help them. And I'm like, ooh, it's really muddy and really inconsistent. I couldn't tell who was a bad guy or a good guy.
But
And
nobody
like I
dies,
said,
so it's fine.
can we say? I know we have to get into that. Can we get into that in a little bit?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, one of the issues I had was when characters that were bad guys were just touched by the stupidest of things, like the silliest of simple things, like this food tastes good and is warm. My heart is touched. I think I'll become good now. Or little girl came up and put Band-Aid on me. Oh, family is sweet. I guess maybe being bad isn't good. Like I'm sitting there like, wow, what is going on with these characters? Did they all just never experience life, never experience good things at all? Then how do they have the empathy necessary to predict and understand where their prey is going and how to head them off or what they're thinking? Because a lot of them they act like they're able to do that.
Well, the scene you're talking about with Shin eating the food, I like that, and was hoping that's what this anime was that it was going to be showing
Redemption.
Shin, yeah, a life, and they do it, but they just do it one after this first scene of I ate real food and now I have empathy and humanity again. They just dump it and they're like, yeah, it just happened. He loves the quiet life now,
Right.
and I'm like, I thought what this series was going to be was Sakamoto showing him why the quiet life was better than a life of action and
Mhm.
adventure and danger. And,
Yeah, that
you
would have
know,
been better.
yeah. So I was like, oh, the food scene, that is the starting block of something bigger we're going to get into. And it's like, nope, he's into it now.
Yeah.
Everyone else just automatically gets into it as soon as they see it.
Mhm.
And, but
Yep.
don't forget, the League of Assassins have a cafeteria.
Yeah.
And a school?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Uh
And I love how like there's some people that have gone to be hitmen and they're like, no, I'm not gonna do this financially viable thing. I'm gonna go be a hitman, as if like you could
Yeah.
just exchange hitman for a musician or content creator or writer,
Yeah.
like as if it was like not a dangerous illegal activity.
Well, it's weird too because I see things from, John Wick and the Wickiverse or whatever it's called, right?
Which I
About
think has an influence in here, so I think that's fair.
yeah. I also see things in, and I'm sure this is not an influence, but I see it in like Morrowind and the Morag Tong because it's a sanctioned assassination
This is speaking
organization.
gibberish to me now, but
I know. But basically the idea is in a certain civilization in this fantastical setting, it is government sanctioned that the great houses, all these different families, can order hits on each other. And as long as you, as the assassin, have this writ of approval, you can say, "Oh no, no, I have permission and I'm sanctioned to have killed them," and you're off scot free. And I kind of saw like the JAA identification as that sort of like, "Nope, I'm a sanctioned killer." And the government actually sometimes employs me, or other people do, but it's so I kind of saw a little bit of room for it to be interesting, but then that never even came up. Like none of the interworkings of how that system exists came into it at all. Instead, it was just like, nope, it just is because it's funny and it's edgy and it's cool. And
new
that's
licenses.
yeah. Yeah, it's funny because he pulls out a license and yeah. And then later, God, did he use one as yeah, he threw one. He did. He threw Sakamoto. Excuse me. Sakamoto threw one and it like created a shock wave and then stuck in the wall or something ridiculous. Anyways,
Which
stupid.
again is the physics of this world, and we're not focusing on
Stupid.
that to
It's
stop
stupid.
comments from.
It's stupid.
Okay, you control the comments for the next couple weeks. Um, all right, so Shin he turns Shin down. Shin leaves after making fun of him for being fat, even though Sakamoto has shown that he's already more skilled and faster than Shin. And Shin also is a fanboy. We see when he gets in his car, he's like, "Oh my god, he's so cool." He calls his boss. The boss is like, "Well, then you got to kill him." So he goes back the next day to kill him. They have a quick fight. Sakamoto still beats him using spitting candy out of his mouth to deflect bullets. Again, everything's very silly here. It's a silly world. Uh,
Then just be silly.
Shin. Oh yeah, he wakes up and he's inside Sakamoto's apartment. This is where they eat dinner together. And is oh my god, food never tasted so good. They just eat nutrition bars, apparently.
MRIs.
So he goes back to his boss and he asks him to call off the hit and I'll give my life for Sakamoto. And the boss is like, okay, that's fair, except for he thinks, no, I'm going to betray you. She's like, I'm a mind reader. He's like, oh, yeah, that's right. You are a mind reader. I completely forgot. And they have a shootout. Sakamoto shows up with a stun gun and beats everybody up and blocks bullets with chopsticks. And then he gives Shin a job.
He has a really weird stun gun too because it shoots.
There's no wires.
There's no wires, and he in this scene stuns 3 people with one swipe. I have no idea how that thing works. It's just
It's
cool.
not even.
It's
not even
silly
a-
gag physics. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it's silly
matter.
gag.
Ugh.
Okay,
Exactly.
well here's the thing. That's a little different.
Okay, here we go. I'd love to hear this.
Bocchi the Rock was a silly anime, but they got the fingering right on the guitar, right? They
Oh,
managed to
that. Yeah.
yes, when you play guitar, it's called the
Yeah.
fingering.
Okay.
Um, because the focus was on guitars. This is a assassin anime. Yeah, I don't care if a guy can block bullets with a chopstick, but I do care if um slide lock. I know the name, and now it's gone. Rifle with a single chamber at a time.
Oh,
Sniper rifle. It's called.
yeah.
you know, you go, yeah,
Mhm.
that helped.
I know what gun you're talking about. I don't remember what it's called either.
Bolt action.
Bolt action,
Yeah.
right?
Good, good,
That
good.
also burst fires.
No,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
no, no.
right. That's to
Yeah.
me.
1, 2, 3.
That's different than I don't care about physics. That's I don't care about the details of the animation, and that's lazy. The chopsticks is intentional. The gun and the stun gun not needing wires and being able to hit 3 people at the same time with a swipe, that's visual storytelling laziness, and they are different to me.
That's deliberate misunderstanding of how those items work.
Right. In a story about assassins and guns.
Well,
So
at
that
least
bugs
it's
me.
consistent because they also don't understand how forks and pens and coupons
And
and
mustaches
chopsticks and
and fat.
glasses. They don't understand how any of that works. So
Yeah, either you hand wave all of it or you don't have wave at any of it.
exactly, Mr. Cherry Picker.
Wait till we get to the poker game.
Oh,
I got
dude.
real upset at the poker game. All right. So that ends the first episode. The next one we meet. Oh, we learn Sakamoto. This is where we're gonna get into the discussion that I've been dreading
boy.
since I watched this episode. Sakamoto is not allowed to kill because his wife
Ugh.
forbids it. It's in the rules, and if he kills, she will divorce him. Uh,
Goodbye.
she's not a character to talk about, and actually, something that really upsets me is that the wife and the daughter should be way more important characters than background
They are
characters they just
so
have.
inconsequential in this
Yeah, they don't
anime.
matter at all.
And
Mhm.
that probably frustrates me the most. The wife
Yeah.
should be involved in all this. That is not a healthy marriage. I was so pissed off. Yeah.
Also, I think it would have been way funnier if he was constantly having to hide the, self-defense murders that he was having to commit on a regular
Yeah, if there
basis.
actually were murders.
Like
Right.
that would have been way funnier, that interaction. What?
Mm-hmm.
I actually agree, but I need a timeout on this discussion so we can talk about Lou,
Okay.
this episode recap, and then we can have the discussion.
Okay.
Okay.
The talk.
While buying meat buns, we learned Sakamoto didn't kill anybody because he never breaks the rule. While buying meat buns, they meet a girl running away from the mafia named Lou. She's a mafia daughter, but her family's been killed. She has the key to the secret something, who cares? And the bad guys want her so they control the market. And now Sakamoto's involved. She becomes one of the recurring main characters. She's a Tai Chi fighter / alcoholic. Your guys' thoughts on Lou?
Probably one of the more tolerable parts of the anime for me, just because she seemed like she fit into a comedy anime the rest of the time. This particular episode was a bit more tragic. I did like the inclusion of, her family is from China, so she's Chinese in a Japanese anime, and I did like that dynamic. I thought it was interesting. There was a little bit of cultural clash, not much, but the way she's drawn, it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of traditional, I don't know, stereotypical Chinese, if you will, for this kind of anime.
Like the braid.
Yeah,
Hair.
and and the cap at the base, or at the
Mhm.
base of the braid.
Chun-Li,
Yeah. And so
Street Fighter.
Don't you have
even
pigtails?
They come out of those buns.
Fair enough.
she her interactions with Shin could be funny if they were done better. But I did find them slightly entertaining. I really did like their interactions in the shop, where she's just, actually, that one did get me. She's like, no, I filled the shelves, it's fine. And it's just like someone had
Yeah.
like shoved everything from their dirty room under the bed. Like,
They'll find it.
yeah. Or the detergent in the
Yeah.
fridge area. That was good too. And because she wasn't super powered and she didn't have any special abilities except that she could drink and she was an okay fighter, I don't know. I thought she fit better than anyone else in this anime. But yeah.
Yeah. I thought she was fine. She had some funny gags, some great moments. I liked that she was a drunken master. That was entertaining. Um,
I always love a drunken master. It just
yeah,
always it's cool. It's fun to watch.
exactly. Um, Other than that, I really didn't think that she was that important. I know that she was important to the plot sometimes, but um, she was just kind of there to make expressions and laugh, make noises, things like that. Um,
Talk, dude.
she didn't really have a lot to contribute. Um,
I don't disagree.
I
Like,
mean, yeah, she was captured. So what is that? Uh, when something it becomes like the MacGuffin, I think they got to go get it, right?
yeah, it's usually an item.
Yeah.
Bridging is when you kill them just so that your character can have development. So it's not that either.
Hmm.
Damsel in distress, I guess.
Yeah, there's a term for it. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, she was fine. I really got a kick out of the gag that comes later when people from her past show up. That was the, I had to rewind and play that again because I was laughing so hard. Um, because it was the perfect way to capture like, yeah, we'll talk about it then. It's really good. But yeah, she's I don't know, she's fine. I have no problem with her.
Yeah, she had some of the funnier scenes. And then yeah, she's there.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Um, I liked that. I liked her Tai Chi. I liked her fighting. I enjoyed that they let her be a drunk.
Hmm.
Instead, one thing I did like about the anime, and I'll give her props for, is that it's not a teenage character anime. Everyone's an adult. Most of them are criminals in one way or another. And yeah, so she's getting drunk, and it's not like, oh, is that a 7-year-old getting drunk? No,
She's 18.
she's 18. She's fine.
I
And
think that's fine in Japan. I don't know the rules over there.
Okay.
but her family's an alcohol creating, like, alcohol was like a big part of her family. It's fine.
Uh-huh.
I was into it. That's what I'm saying.
Until this moment.
Don't bring your American colonialism rules into me, man.
Tell me when I can
All
drink.
right, now we gotta do the episode, and then we gotta do the thing.
Oh,
So
here we
she's
go.
being chased by this other mafia, and she agrees to make them meat buns. So they agree to help her.
Because she
And the
smashed him.
mafia guy sends his two best hitmen. They're not hitmen because they're not part of the club, but whatever.
Guards?
Yeah,
Yeah.
his two best men, who are brothers, who like to cut off people's heads and then draw the heads for art.
Yes.
What is
Okay.
art?
There were a couple of things about this that I have to mention. Number one, so I was having Tanya was watching this one with me as well. Actually, I got her to watch the
Oh, I
last
feel
episode
for her.
anime and this one. Yeah. And when this scene happened and the guy like chopped off one of the henchmen's heads and then like held it and was like, I like to hold their head while they're still gasping for air. Ha ha ha. Both of us were like, what? This is not the tone of this
Yeah,
anime.
it should be noted this is TVMA, and yet it's going for a Gintama
Yeah.
teenage kids gag comedy. Yeah, you're spot on.
Yeah, the tonally it did not fit. It was very jarring and shocking and unpleasant. But then later when it showed the two of them and they were talking about like the heads that they chopped off, and you got to see the pictures on the wall that they had drawn. One of them cannot draw, and the other one can draw really well. That was actually a really good gag. You know, like all these really crappily drawn faces. Um, so like I really like the gag side of this anime, and I would love it if they just stuck with that and don't do such edgy, shocky things with this. You got so much more potential with the gags. But anyways, go ahead. That was my piece there.
Oof.
It's not you. It's not you. He meant me.
Okay, please.
See, Uh, these two killers go after him. They fight Sakamoto. Sakamoto's to fight them, and then we see the flashback about why Sakamoto is not allowed to kill. His girlfriend on a date was like, "Oh my god, you killed somebody." He's like, "Yeah, I had to afford this present I got you." She's like, "No killing." So she jumps off
This
a
is so
balcony
dumb. This
to
is
her.
so dumb.
I know.
God.
She jumps off this railing
We
to
were
her.
so mad.
She says, I can't be with you." Jumps off to her death, and Sakamoto has to run down this giant concrete cliff,
That's
grab
not
her.
how. Never mind.
We're back in Wile E. Coyote land.
We are in Wile E. Coyote land. This is like complaining about Wile E. Coyote. Just to
Well,
clarify, that's a great example.
But then she says, "Oh, I didn't realize how long of a fall this was.
Thank God
Did
there
you
was
not
no.
realize you were like 15 stories up? Like,
I
what
know
is wrong with you?"
it's bad. It's very bad. And then she yells at him about, "You can't kill people because the way you felt about me about to die is how everyone else will feel if you kill somebody, and so you must promise to always help people." So then he drops a fridge on a guy. Should we? Let's have the discussion. Go ahead. Go
Batman
ahead.
doesn't kill either.
Batman doesn't kill.
It, especially with these two serial killers that collect heads. No, let's just beat them up and teach them a lesson, and they'll turn their way. It's not only naive but stupid premise, and it's not funny. It's just horrific. Like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna let him go get better and go keep murdering people. It's fine. I'm sure someone else will take care of it. It won't be and you'll never come after me again, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't for the first season.
And that's the other thing. Nobody ever went after his wife or kid. Like,
yeah,
really? Like the one linchpin in every superhero story, or one weakness of literally every superhero story, is their loved ones and their family. Not once did anyone go after them. This just felt really lazy. I think that's the best way I can describe it. It feels lazy.
Yeah. It's that's the gag part where, like, oh, if it's for gags, then I can ignore whatever that I don't want to think about. And then I can add in whatever edgy thing that I want and pretend that there's something deeper going on when really I haven't thought about anything. It's just whatever I feel like, and it's silly. I also have an issue with the way that he consistently disables people by breaking their necks or smashing them through things.
I don't
And
know. I was like, I don't think you can break someone's neck to make them unconscious. That's
yeah,
not
I
a
don't think
thing at
so.
all.
No. No. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
he
We
kills a lot.
we have had the argument on this podcast, me versus both these guys, about
Multiple times.
multiple times about people choosing not to kill, people who are pacifists. And it's a well done trope. We watched Rurouni Kenshin recently. Everyone knows most of us love Trigun. And I watched this episode. First off, the main character doesn't actually believe in the ideal. It's being forced upon him by another character. He thinks about killing someone every day. We know this because we get to see it, which is funny. Okay, that's one thing. And then you present it in the second episode with the most horrific cartoonish villains. It'd be like, killing is wrong. Spare Hitler. Come on. That's not making great argument here. I watched this episode and knew you guys were going to complain about it. And like, I can't defend any of this. This is terrible. Trigun, touches on this. The whole series is about this. And it's about how his ideal is unrealistic, and he can't. No matter how strong he is, he's not strong enough to prevent killing.
Mhm.
In Trigun, he literally kills someone. He loses to his own ideal, and then the series becomes: can you fail and still keep an ideal? And that very series addresses all that, is why that works in that story. This is like, hey, this is ideal exists, and it just is. It's like that's a heavy thing, and you need to address it. They're like, no, snap necks to make him unconscious, giggly goo.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yes.
I I was so frustrated. I'm like, and like I said, I had previewed the first episode. I really liked what I thought this was going. And the second episode aired, and I'm like, I've made a huge mistake. Oh, and also, if a character doesn't kill and then is like, no, they're going to be delivered to justice, like Batman. Even though Joker's gonna break out, but at least Batman's like, I gotta work within the system. That's just how it is. They bring these killers back to their boss and give them back.
Yep. Yep.
They don't drop them off at the cops.
Yep.
So they don't even try to reform them. They just beat them up and be like, hey, here's the guys who chop off heads for fun to paint them. It's so bad. It is crushing to someone like me who cares about this kind of thing.
And it's not the only one either. There's another fight later where he defeats a really villainous guy, and then he just throws him in a junk truck as he's walking out of the building. And then we see the guy walking around later orchestrating more murders.
Yeah.
It doesn't fix anything. He's not concerned about. Yet he moves the guy, throws him like into another compartment in order to make sure that an old lady has a place to sit on a train. But if the guy's going to come back a week later and kill the old lady, that's okay.
In a court of law, I would ask this stricken from the record because it's devastating to my case. Jason, you had some more?
Just that you said it really well, that I think the biggest issue is he doesn't believe in that ideal. He's just following a rule because his wife is more important than not having her.
If you had an assassin and then like his daughter was in the room, like, don't kill my daddy, like to really present that ideal. But again, we have psychopath brothers who chop off heads for fun as the basis of this thesis.
Yep.
Ooh. All right, they defeat him. They rob out the guy. They beat up the brother, or they beat up the boss. They go into the vault. Her dad left sake. Every crime family had to leave their best thing ever, and his was a bottle of sake he was going to drink with his daughter, which doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, they're just basically saying time with her, she was the most important thing, and so this drinking it together was the most important.
He didn't really give that up, did he? Because really, if he gave up the thing that's most important to him to pay tribute to this crime family, he would have to give up his own daughter. That's what they said. Give up the thing that matters to you most. And he's like, this bottle that someday I'll drink, and definitely don't have enough. Definitely can't buy a second one of.
You are all about theme and philosophy, right? It was the symbol of his daughter.
Right.
Yeah, he put the symbol of his daughter in there because he can't put his daughter in there; she'll die. And I don't think that they were telling them like put it in as a punishment, because that would be a punishment. It's putting it in there is more like a tradition.
I'll give you that one.
And also this
and 500 yen.
And that, everybody, there's like piles of gold in there. He's like, no, here's sake.
But that also means that this like other crime boss dude was way off. Whatever was in that safe was not going to help him control the underworld. It's like this whole premise was just completely bunk anyways. Like,
they thought the recipe to the sake was going to be in there, right? Is that what they wanted?
I don't even remember. I thought he just wanted the treasure and thought, oh man, the treasure in here is going to be so amazing. But I don't know what it is.
The whole premise was he was going to be able to control the underworld with what was ever in that vault.
Okay.
I thought he
Alright.
was controlling the underworld just by wiping out the competing dynasty,
I
and
don't
then he
care.
was the boss.
Can we move on?
Doesn't matter.
I mean, surely they thought this through and put a coherent story together.
Lou gets a job at the store, and a bounty is placed on Sakamoto's head. Which we learn about in the next episode even more when there's a fake Sakamoto, and it's actually a shapeshifter assassin who's pretending to be Sakamoto, and they figured that when the other real one came in, and then he's okay. He's not an important character at all, but I actually really liked him. I love the way that he's like, "I'm the villain, and I'm gonna kill you." I'm just kidding again,
Yeah. That was funny because he used like the collapsing knife to stab
right?
Shin. Yeah, I got a kick out of that.
I don't know how he shapeshifts, so I don't really care. He leaves. But he's all like, Sakamoto, maybe someday I'll kill you. We're best friends, though. Also, he's part of the Order. And then Sakamoto looks at a camera that's in his ramen cup and tells it, hey, if you come after me, I'm going to get you. Because
Pizza box.
Was it the pizza box? I thought it was,
Yeah.
I don't.
Because he delivered the pizza.
Yeah, the pizza murderer. Remember?
Oh, yeah, the pizza assassin came in.
Because everybody is like a job and an assassin. Like, this is how I hide my identity.
He pulled out two
just assumed
pizza
he was a
cutters to
fiend.
do
Yeah.
his cutting. There is assassinating.
Yep.
Commitment to the bit.
Yeah.
Then they have to go to an amusement park, even with the bounty on them, and because the daughter wanted to go. So they go to the amusement park, and then an assassin. Well, first there's janitor assassin who they defeat easily, but the other assassin watching, who's a guy with stitches, but he's not the guy with stitches that we'll meet later. He just also happens to have stitches because they ran out of ideas for character designs. use the stitches twice. No one's paying attention. He gets on the roller coaster with them, and Lou and Shin notice him. So him and Shin have a mid-air on the tracks roller coaster battle.
And no one cares because they stand on the tracks, they jump over the roller coaster as it goes by, and then it just comes back around and they jump back on it. Like, they didn't take them off. They didn't trade on new people. They didn't like.
It's because 50% of the population in Japan are hitmen, so everyone just knows, oh, this is just a normal thing.
Yeah. It's just another Tuesday.
They literally put a solid number on how many people are assassins.
No, there's only 400 people, but like 400. They act like everybody is.
Yeah. Okay. You guys aren't gonna like this. I like the roller coaster fight.
Oh my god, no.
It's stupid. Yeah, I know you can't jump out of a roller coaster on the loop-de-loop from the top and lands on the bottom. But it's not something that I've seen before. And using a roller coaster to propel yourself front and forward as an attack.
No, that's called broken leg. Maybe ripped off.
Again, Wile E. Coyote rules.
Well, then there's no danger.
Yeah.
No, there isn't.
Then why are we watching it?
Well, because I picked it and I didn't know much about it. But
because like he gets poisoned here and I just didn't care. This is like, oh no, he's poisoned. Oh wait, he already mentioned earlier that he was like poison resistant anyways. And so I was just like,
I should clarify, the fights in this are mostly terrible and not like good looking or inventive. Most of them are, I feel like I've seen before, and they're just copies of other anime's fights. It just feels so superficial. Like, hey, we have to do this. We're going to buy the numbers. You know what's going to happen. You could close your eyes and you could know what's happening. But I just like the idea of fighting on a roller coaster.
Fair enough.
Yep. Final Destination spoiled that for me.
I think we should make a rule for the podcast that we can't like roller coaster fights.
I second that motion.
Okay, that's the rule, but I'm allowed to break that rule.
Dang it.
I forgot all rules only apply to Jason.
Right?
Okay.
So Jason can no longer. Oh man.
Oh
I'm
man.
sure hope that pays off someday. All right, the fight ends up on a stage. So Shin dresses up in a rabbit costume again.
How?
Also, so
How did
fast.
he steal the rabbit costume?
So fast. It's so fast.
Yeah, he's really fast.
He's
Uh,
blind. He's not fast. He's blind.
No, but he can pinpoint people because of their thoughts. So
Didn't help
What?
him in the blind fight.
In this fight, now that he's
Invisible
on
fight.
stage and Sakamoto's in the crowd, he can hear Sakamoto directing him how to fight, and so he wins
And-
the fight.
fortunately, they just happened to be doing like a Red Ranger like choreographed fight
Yeah.
at this very moment that they fall into this place. How convenient.
So they capture the bad guy, and he's like, "Hey, man, my bad." And they're like, "It's cool. Give us info." He's like, "Yeah, I work for these guys. I really don't care. This isn't even really plot relevant at this point, guys." And
You
so
know
if
what
you
my
just
favorite
wanna
part
let
about
me
this is?
disappear.
My favorite part is Lou stabs him to get him to talk because she's like, I have the antidote that you had in your pocket.
Never gives him the antidote.
And she never gives him the antidote back. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did like the, hey, it's a good thing this guy had the antidote. He's like, yeah, poison attacks 101. You
Yeah.
got to carry the antidote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they let him go. And he literally unties himself 5 seconds later after they walk away. They give him a band-aid. The little girl gives him the band-aid. And he's just like, yeah, I'm going to go home. But
Yeah,
he runs
I'm
in.
gonna ride a couple more rides first. Then
Yeah,
go
that's right.
home.
But he runs into the characters Boiled and Obagura.
I forgot about these guys. I really liked these guys. They cracked me up every time he's like, "Hey, what?" You know, every time he scares her.
He overreacts to everything. And she's like, what?
Everything.
He's like, you should walk carefully.
Yeah, don't step on those ants.
They
So
end up
hard-boiled.
trapping the Sakamoto family goes into a haunted house, which they use to attack him. The whole concept is Boiled used to work with Sakamoto, which apparently everyone did. And
Not work with. They went to school together. I guess they did some jobs, but yeah, it was assassin school.
Assassin school. And he thought they were bros, and he thought they were also bros because no girls liked them. And then Valentine's Day comes, and Sakamoto gets all the chocolate, and then he's like, Sakamoto. He says something to Sakamoto. Sakamoto's like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
And then he realized they weren't bros at all. Also, he uses explosive balls in pipes on his gloves to give himself rocket punches.
Mm-hmm.
So he fights Sakamoto, which we'll come back to, but Obigura, who's this younger girl who likes Boiled, but also just loves a good challenging fight, she captures Lou and Shin, manages to get Shin tied up with two guys holding chainsaws over him, and tells Lou has
So
to
dumb.
touch her every 10 seconds in the fight or they'll cut off Shin's body parts.
Mm-hmm.
But Lou's drunk and she doesn't really know what's going on, but she does it anyway because she's a Tai Chi drunken master. And as soon as she sobers up, she's like, I don't know where I am. And Obiguro's like, hey, that was an awesome fight. That was so fun. Thank you for doing that with me. And that's just the end of this fight. They just
Are we best friends now?
Yeah.
They just
Yep. And what the one funny thing here is that the henchman that had the chainsaw looked absolutely dejected. Like, I really wanted to kill him.
Sakamoto's fight. He's overpowered by the rocket punches, gets knocked through a wall, comes back skinny and clean shaven.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's so powerful and hardcore that he beats the crap out of this guy, knocks them into a Ferris wheel mid ride, not at the bottom, but near the top. And then he goes back to his family, shares a meat bun with Boiled. Again, after you've lost, everyone's cool. The wife learns there's a bounty and she gets mad. Rule 6: no secrets or lies.
Wait, so he
And
was okay with breaking that one, but not the murder one?
I think Rule 1 leads to divorce, and Rule 6 leads to a scolding.
Oh, I see.
She
So
didn't
that-
mention divorce this time anyway.
That's true.
So she tells him to take care of it, and she doesn't want to be involved. Great wife. Perfect. Got a little wife who's just like, you know what? I don't care.
Solve this problem. Come back when it's solved.
Yeah. The
I
next
mean,
day,
there
he's
is an
fat
argument
again.
to be made that there's absolutely nothing she could do, so maybe she just bowed out of a situation where she knew she'd just die, but at the same time there wasn't even an interest taken or any fear or concern or
Well,
maybe that was
it felt like, hey, these guys are going to keep coming after you, and I don't want to have to deal with this, and you constantly having to not kill people. So just go take care of it, so we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Mhm.
All right, so they go to a movie rental store where you can rent videotapes that give you information on the Hitman world. But you have to watch it's like a full movie, but in the movie are details about what you want to learn,
I thought
which
this
I
was a
thought was
cool idea.
I
Cool.
thought it was funny. Funny way
Mhm.
to set up expedition dumps.
And then later it was like, weren't you paying attention to the movie?
Yeah.
Especially Sakamoto pulling a pure dad move of falling asleep mid movie
Mhm.
and
'Cause
not
he's like, "I
knowing the
don't really care.
details.
I know where to go.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know."
We also then get a scene of what's called the Order. These are like the top assassins of the assassin people.
Mhm.
And oh, there's a assassin out there. And they want the Order to investigate. There's characters here. Yep, that's it.
Okay. Yep.
uh, when Sakamoto's group goes to the place where the hitmen have been coming from, everyone's already dead, and no, the shapeshifter guy is there because he's part of the Order, and he's like, "Oh, I did this," and I'm like, "That's when he makes that joke." But he actually is like, "No, I showed up. It was like this," and someone who was taking notes had to scribble really hard and say he did not kill them. Um, yeah, and he's just like, "Yeah, there's a killer out there."
And he makes an X on the wall.
And he started the same day the bounty was placed on you. That's going to be important later.
Will it though?
Yeah. All right. The next episode, we meet the next team member. A
Snipey
really
boy.
poor, stupid, looks like an adult version of the guy from Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, I've gone.
Yeah, he looks
Mhm.
like Gon grew up with a parakeet that would make Monty Python piss themselves.
It
Come
is
on,
funny that the
that's a
parakeet
good
has
joke.
like little bags on him.
Not just that,
Pretty cool.
dude carries a full sniper rifle around and drops it as needed.
You're right.
But I'm not allowed to pick and choose when I complain about physics, so I won't. That one I actually didn't have a problem with. I always just thought it was funny. Like, dude, that parakeet is so strong. He
Crazy.
could definitely carry some coconuts across. Anyway,
See what you did there.
I did it a while ago and I didn't get the reaction I wanted. I had to go back. All right. Basically, he comes in. He's like, "Hey, I'm here to kill Sakamoto," and they're like, "That's not him." And he's like, "Oh, but he has the name Sakamoto. It's a common name." Oh, guess I'll leave. And they give him some meat buns. There's an airsoft paintball tournament happening for a lot of money, and because the store keeps getting beat up by terrible assassins, they need the money to fix it up. But also, this guy, because he's starving to death, also needs the money. So
Do not
he
die.
he begs them to be on the team, and he joins the team. But because Lou gets drunk and keeps calling out for Sakamoto, he figures out that Sakamoto is the guy he's looking for. But he's also proved he's a great assassin with his paintball gun. So he goes and he has his parakeet bring him his real sniper rifle, gets far away, and then starts attacking Shin and Sakamoto with his
Ricochet bullets. Burst
three
fire mode.
burst fire ricochet bullets
Out of his bolt action rifle.
out of his bolt action rifle.
Does he
See,
load
I was
like
fine.
3 bullets in a row
Uh-uh.
and then close the bolt?
No,
Nope.
That
it
would be
literally
funny.
shows him chamber one bullet
One
at a time.
bullet.
Yeah, because I didn't see I didn't see a magazine on the bottom of the rifle either.
No,
so
no.
where
Just
where
more
did
the
they kind?
gag. Gag. Ah.
This is not a gag. This is
No, it is a gag. Anything that doesn't make sense or isn't logical or doesn't work with physics is a gag.
that's not true. They call out the fat loss and fat gain in a single day.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. Shin's
Yeah.
like, how are you fat? How are you fat
Right. He
again?
just says, I eat and then I gain the weight back.
Right, but that's them calling it out. That's the gag. That's them saying this was a joke.
So you're saying
No.
because they don't call out the fact that there are 3 bullets, even though they
Yes.
call out that they're
Yes.
ricocheting?
If Shin had said, "Wait, how is your single fire gun burst firing?" and Heisuke had just said, "No," then that would be the joke.
That's fair.
But they don't.
Yeah, I guess I see that.
It just exists. And I get your point. I am picking and choosing.
Well, they didn't call out the parrot.
They don't. I
So
actually
then
have.
that's not a gag.
Yeah, it's not really. It's not. They just believe a parakeet can carry a rifle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a light rifle.
Yeah.
But, like,
It's probably 3D
But-
printed.
Like the bulletproof glasses is a gag because they didn't have to specifically be called out, but it's got to be clear. They'd be like, no, this is intentional. We know what we're doing. But like the parakeet, do you know a parakeet can't carry
Yeah,
a
they
rifle?
never call anything out about the parakeet.
Who also can track people who are underground in,
Mm-hmm.
in buildings.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
Shadow.
They managed to beat him, and then they give him his share
By
of the prize
throwing
money.
a rock multiple blocks
Okay, no,
up like 4 stories, and
Yeah,
then
this is fine.
okay, if it had like stuck in the rifle and like knocked the rifle out of his hand, or maybe he blew the scope out with it. No, the rifle disintegrates.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It goes up the barrel and destroys the whole thing.
Like it shatters into thousands of pieces.
But then
okay.
he has the rifle again later.
Well,
I don't
and
think
like
it's a different
how
one. He
with that
can't
much
afford it.
with that much force, how did this dude keep his hands, let alone his life?
Well, come on. He gets stabbed later and is like, oh, I've been stabbed. And then he gets up and they're all just walking around like it's
Yeah,
fine.
that's true.
No
Yeah.
big deal.
Oh, it's a
Gag.
gag. It's gag. It's fine.
The Rock is a gag that's walking around but after being stabbed is not. That is would be an error.
Oh, okay.
I'm not smart enough to explain why. Just my gut is telling me, look, Sakamoto does insane Wile E. Coyote stuff, so him destroying the rifle is fine, but a normal person getting stabbed and then not having any reaction to it afterwards is them being lazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. They don't give him a job.
No, they don't. The guy that needs money, they don't give a job.
They give him day-old meat buns that they're going to throw away every day instead. That is his part of the family. Even though he gets invited to dinner later, but no job for this guy.
And
They give a job to the rich mafia man later, but not this poor broke man.
I do like also later there's a fight where meat buns are thrown and they're on the ground and he's like, hey, can I have those? He's like so down bad. He's like, can I have the meat buns that are on the ground?
I also like every time Shin reads
Yes.
his mind that it's just
Yes.
crayon drawings
Mhm.
and Shin complains.
Shin's like, I'm having a horrible time even just figuring out what you're thinking because I have to decipher this.
I do not like it when Shin complains about people's thoughts. Like it's rude of them to think negative. Like someone will think an insulting thing to him, and he'll be like, "Hey, I can read that." That's on you.
It's
Like
your
Blue
fault.
points it out. That's your problem. You need to not
Yeah.
read my
Okay.
mind. I can think what I want to think.
Now I'm
Yeah.
upset again. Okay, so later we get told that he can only read verbal thoughts,
No.
yet
You're not doing
He-
this.
he can read
I was thinking this too.
not
There's no way this could
not only this guy's crayon drawing, but also he can read the intention to kill him from
Yep.
multiple people, not just Sakamoto. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
man, that's not a rule.
And it's not those people saying, "Oh, I'm going to cut your arm off, and then I'm going to stab you." And no, it's literally a visualization of those things. And also, words are not fast enough to deal with the fights that they're in. Like if you have Sakamoto punching you, he's not going to be like right hook, left jab, And I don't care how fast
I
he's
was
talking or
thinking the
speaking
exact same
verbally.
thing.
Yeah, there's no way he's getting that data fast enough for Shin to act on it.
Yeah, no way.
So
Yeah, like,
yet
But it's a
another
gag,
failing.
Jeremy. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's a gag. I forgot.
that is not a gag. That is just immaterial.
No,
I don't know.
I can't explain that one, so it doesn't
It
matter.
feels pedantic to me to complain about that in the scope of everything else. That's the best I got.
That's fair. Yeah, but they call it out.
Alright. Okay, yeah, we have to go into the big arc. Shin and Lu have to manage the store themselves because it's parent day at school. And they get into an argument over what I had just complained about. Shin leaves upset because Lu's like, no one would ever want to be friends with you. And apparently he has tragic backstory, which turns out not to be that tragic, but
Not at
whatever.
all. Just a kid overreacting, basically.
I seriously thought like, oh god, we're gonna get like child experimentation, and it ends up he just like chug chug. What's this? Chug chug chug.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Some bad men in hazmat suits come to abduct him, but take Lou because she's wearing his apron, and they're idiots. So they abduct Lou instead. Sakamoto and Shin realize she's been taken, so they track her down. You guys are gonna like this. I like a fight on top of cars. Okay, works in the Matrix too. It's cool. I like it.
How did he get back from the motorcycle when Sakamoto didn't?
Hold on. No. Even worse. When Sakamoto knocks a dude on the motorcycle and his motorcycle explodes,
Yeah,
I'm sure that guy was
He
fine.
didn't kill him.
Yeah,
Non-fatal
totally didn't.
explosion.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I had that thought. Like, that's a big explosion for a guy who's about to survive that.
Yep.
Again, physics don't matter.
Okay, but having a guy literally just like he was on the motorcycle, Sakamoto is on the motorcycle. Sakamoto doesn't make it back to the bus to save the girl. That's his target. That's his objective. But the bad guy does.
Yeah.
That makes zero sense.
Yeah.
That is just to tell the story, to be like, let's go to the next scene.
They do another thing, because Shin goes way further down the highway, and then he gets stopped, and then it shows him standing right next to Sakamoto.
Yes.
And I'm like,
yes.
okay, so yeah, we just, that's again, I agree, it's very lazy. That's not like I don't care about physics. That's like I don't care about any of this.
Yeah.
And there is a difference to me. And so, like, again, I don't care if you block bullets with chopsticks. I do care if physical locations teleport so that you don't have to bother to show him walk back. You could just imply that he walked back. But nope, he's just, oh, I'm here.
Well, you have to give an explanation for why Sakamoto, as amazing as he is, when you make a character this overpowered, why did he fail? Why did he fail from getting to that bus? It makes zero sense because you have the bar set by this other guy getting to the bus from the same place as Sakamoto. That just it's more than just a location and distance issue. It's like they literally he could not solve the problem yet, but they didn't have a way to stop him from solving the problem yet, so they just made it so he didn't.
The guy that Shin lost to and also stopped Sakamoto is Seba, who's not an important character other than he has a stealth camouflage Geek Turns Invisible suit. Even though it's not on his face, it's still visible as his face.
Yep.
Yep. All right. At the lab, we meet the villain of this arc, Mr. Reindeer, who in an episode later will reveal his name is Kashima, and nothing he does is reindeer themed. And he's not hiding his identity.
He hates Christmas. He hates Christmas too. He says that in the sub. I don't know.
How cool!
I don't remember him saying.
How cool would it have been if, like, in one of the, like, throwaway scenes, he was like just kind of holding a black cube?
Cube. Is it a Krampus reference?
No, Troy should know.
It doesn't matter if I know. We're talking to a podcast audience. Quit making inside jokes. You're gonna get a timeout.
I'm sure there's more than just the two of us who have played the Rusty Lake games.
Oh God.
Not a lot. I don't. The episode I just got done editing yesterday, you were making Marvel Rivals references again.
That's a
That
very
only you-
popular franchise.
But no, it was specific to our gameplay and how much you hate Hawkeye. But no one knows you hate Hawkeye.
But everybody
now.
does that plays that game. I bet if we drew Venn diagrams of people who watch this anime and people who play Marvel Rivals, they would be like 80% covering each other.
I highly doubt that.
Look, I saw Mr. Reindeer and I also thought of Rusty Lake. I also thought, no way my audience gets that, and I don't want to take the time to explain the context, so I'm not going to mention it.
This is
Still
why we
think
have
I still
Jason
think it'd be
roll.
cool.
It would be cool. I'm upset about the Mr. Reindeer thing because I don't understand why they bother with it.
Yeah.
The guy's not hiding his identity. Mr. Rain. Why does he have two names? Why isn't he just Kashima who wears a reindeer head?
And what's the point of the reindeer head?
Right, and he puts it back on later, and he introduces himself in the scene as Mr. Reindeer.
Hold on.
And then
did I miss something? Is it bandaged later?
Yes, it has a bandage on it later.
Yeah,
Okay, and it doesn't before.
but he's also it's never involved in any of the fights.
Right. So
No.
like what?
Takes it off before the fight.
Takes it off. See, this is superficial. This is my biggest complaint about this anime is it's lazy and superficial, and this is the superficial part. You said it'd be cool if he was wearing a reindeer head, and you're like, what was the reason? We don't need that. And I'm a guy who normally loves the rule of cool, but this is egregious.
Yeah, someone else needs to be wearing an owl head.
Ooh, good call.
No, that's an inside reference again.
Are you serious? Because it works with the idea. So okay, so there's something going on here in this anime that's very interesting. All
And
right.
a rabbit head.
A
Okay,
rabbit
I'll
head
stop.
would work too. So like in the logo for the anime, it's Sakamoto Days, and in the O is his glasses, his nose, and his mustache, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the symbol for wearing one of those nose and glasses with mustache fake personas, right? You've seen those as a kid. You put them on. It's a fake nose with glasses and mustache
Yeah,
attached.
I'm aware of.
So
them.
wearing a mask, okay, wearing a mask.
Wow, you are
And
stretching
then
it.
we have him. He's wearing a mask. The real him comes out when he gets in a fight and his fat gets blown off and his mustache is off. That's when his mask is off, right? Then you have the guy with the deer hat, deer DOE. There's interesting comms. They even have like, hey, there's a movie where there's this theater, and in this theater the movies are all telling you things. They all have codes in them.
Troy, can you get control of this podcast, please?
It's I think it's playing with something there, and that's really interesting to me.
So close to just being done.
That's why
You
Owl
two-
would work really good, and so would White Rabbit.
You two have broken me. I don't want to talk about this anime anymore. We're so off the rails.
They just need
We're off the rails of the off rails. Like we jumped off to another rail, and then you took us to an. You know,
Yes.
I'm gonna go fast. I'm gonna do fast.
Do it, please.
They go to the lab. They have to find a dinosaur's bones because it's part of the security system.
This is where Tanya was. It completely lost Tanya. Where like what the idea was cool, but then the bears like guns came out of the bears' mouths and they just started like walking down, and the dinosaur got animated. Yeah, it's too much.
And then they zap its core, but it gets stronger because of that instead. So he just destroys it. And then they go inside and they rescue the scientists who are good scientists, even though they were a little rude to a little boy who could read their minds when they were kids. But then this evil scientistic looking guy assassin shows
Executive.
up. Yeah, he's one of the guys who is bad guys have taken over this what was a good science place for assassins, apparently. And this one is an evil scientist guy, but he's not affiliated with the actual scientist other than he has helped take him over. And he has all these syringes on him, and Shin attacks him. He ejects Shin. He gets Sakamoto too. Shin has to talk backwards, and Sakamoto attacks. If he attacks Shin, he actually hits the bad guy. If he hits the bad guy, he actually attacks Shin, unless the guy toggles it off. They beat him by Sakamoto just tries to punch both of them while telling Shin in his head what he's going to do so Shin can dodge, and then they beat him up. The guy even hulks out. It doesn't matter. He gets beats up.
Doesn't
But it
matter.
takes him. Mr. Reindeer comes across two guys from the, or a guy and a girl from the Order who are there to investigate because he does work for, oh, I forgot, Slur. The main bad guy's name is Slur.
Yeah.
His name is so bad. He has to be named
It's a
Slur.
slur.
Ryder. That's not a cool name. Okay, that's not cyber, that's not slasher, that's not whatever you were going for. That's not what that word means. It's not like
I
a
don't think
killer
it
word.
means what you think it means.
Oh, okay. They kill and Mr. Reindeer has a real name, but I'm just gonna call him Reindeer. They kill Reindeer's henchman. He gets upset. Like, how dare you not value life? He starts taking off body parts because he's stitched together, and there's weapons inside him. But they're not able. They defeat him by breaking his neck. Sakamoto falls through a trapdoor, lands in the room, and they're like, "Oh, Sakamoto, you fight him. Bye. We're gonna go do our investigation." So Sakamoto fights this guy. Meanwhile, Shin has to fight the invisible guy, and he's losing, but he manages to get some blood onto the invisible suit, and the sniper guy who had found the little girl crying and promised to go find her family has shown up because his parakeet was able to track them into this underground secret laboratory.
I love that he like had the little girl on his shoulders the last time we saw him,
And then she disappeared. Yeah,
and then
gone.
she's just gone. I was like, "Did you bring her to this place? You tell me you didn't bring her to." He didn't, but I have no idea where he put her.
There's just there's no consistency. That's not a gag. That's just not paying attention. He's able to shoot the guy, but then the guy gets him. But he's able to shoot the sprinkler, even though he could have just shot him in one. But he shoots the sprinkler instead, so that Shin's able to win, and then they win. Sakamoto fights Mr. Reindeer. They end up on a subway train. He knocks with his the Iron Man chest beam. He knocks Sakamoto into another train, and Sakamoto is able to run and jump back onto the first train. And then the bad guy starts throwing people at him and items. So Sakamoto's catching the people and then putting the items into their hands.
Yes.
It kind of worked for me. It's a gag.
The one thing that really worked for me here was when Sakamoto got back on the train, and then the guy sitting there, he's like, "Oh my god, that guy was insane! I cannot believe it. I'm so glad that I finally beat him." And then the door opens, and there's Sakamoto looking down at him. That worked for me.
Sakamoto's skinny again. Yeah, he wins, lets him go, throws him in the dumpster. But he does call Shin and tell him the building's going to self-destruct. So Shin rescues the scientist. We see Shin's flashback. Again, it's not that sad. And the scientist is like, I felt bad about it. He's like, I am a super awesome assassin because I have cheat codes. But Shin runs into Slur. And Slur's like, all right, this is my cameo. I'm leaving now. And then everyone goes and has dinner at the Sakamoto's. Everyone's safe.
Yep. The end?
Nope. Bathhouse episode.
Right.
Which, okay. So Jeremy, in pre-show, you haven't mentioned it yet, so I'm stealing your thunder just a little bit, but I'm giving you credit. You had mentioned this series would work better as a like mini joke series, very similar to The Way of the House Husband. And I 100% agree with you. And this episode, this section, proved that. They go into a bathhouse to relax, to recuperate. The bathhouse owner is also an assassin,
Of
and he
course.
has booby traps set up through the bathhouse, and he keeps using them on Sakamoto. But Sakamoto is so extreme that he actually enjoys it. And like when the water jets would throw him across the building, he's like, "Yeah, that really gets into the muscles." And, the sauna's on fire. He's like, "Yeah, that's the sweat I need." And that's the whole. And then later, the guy's getting picked on by bullies. Sakamoto saves him. You realize Sakamoto knew he was killing him the whole time, but was cool with it.
I think what sold it for me was Shin. Having Shin having to endure the same
The
thing as
same thing, yeah.
Sakamoto, and seeing how by the end he's literally just sitting there like a corpse and they carry him out.
Yes,
Like, that
100%.
was great. It had some great punchlines. The two little boys that were running around everywhere, like watching the assassin try to kill him, and they're like, "Oh man, that looks really fun, Dad. Can we do that? Yeah, one day when you're an adult, sure, whatever you want."
Because they took the Wile E. Coyote concept and just
Mhm.
went with it all
Yeah,
bore and took away all the seriousness for a minute, and it worked. That
yeah.
part works.
I like this whole
E-
episode.
Even the
Oh,
last phone call was pretty good.
section.
Yeah, yeah. But where he's like, "Hey, Dad, you were right. I don't want to be an assassin anymore. I
Yeah.
think I want to help take
Yeah.
over the family business." Oh, it's too late. I'm a disappointment to you. Oh, well, that sucks.
100% agree.
Yeah,
Laugh,
that
laugh
was
out
good.
loud.
Mhm.
If you weren't gonna do my thing of like explaining why the simple life and peacefulness and is better, this is the way to go. Yeah, just be silly.
Yeah, this was good.
Then the mafia family that is still alive for Lou shows up to retrieve her. Uh, this guy's name is Wu Tang. Wu Tang tries to kill them, fails, and then sits in the seat with them. Well, no, he lands on the table with all the food on him, and then just jumps up and lands in the seat. He's like, "I would like to negotiate taking Lou home."
Okay, this part killed me because as he's doing all this, all of a sudden he looks at Lou and his head goes back and this jet of blood just shoots out and coats her and she starts crying. Okay, this cracked me up because this to me, this is a gag. This is a perfect gag. It makes
I did
fun of
not
how
like
in all
this
the
gag.
anime you always have the nosebleeds. It takes it to the next level where, you know, we're actually seeing manifested onto her what the guy is thinking because it's the blood coating her. Like it's really obvious and it's on the but it's good and it's funny and her reaction to it because it is kind of like, sexual objectification for to have that reaction. But whatever, it's funny. It's great. It's entertaining. And so to see that entire sequence play out and then have it continue on to the gag of like yeah, he was always there in my past and have him always looking at her and like half the time there's like blood trickling down his lip. I I was cracking up. This whole sequence was great.
I liked it, and I didn't see it as objectification because it wasn't like he saw her leg or cleavage and it happened. He just has that much of a crush on her that her just being
Yeah,
sweet and
I
innocent.
well, I guess what I mean is like the idea of I'm doing that whole like symbolism and philosophy thing here. So I'm definitely putting layers onto it that aren't necessarily there. But like
Okay.
if you were
Oh,
to
it's so
take
unlike you.
this, I know, if you were to take this the um as the symbol of or the present representation of all of those other anime where they get the nosebleed. Well, why are they getting the nosebleed, right? Heart rate increase because they're getting turned on and
Right, right.
excited and whatever. And so it's like it's definitely overstating it to say objectification because I don't think there's anything necessarily negative in it. But as a gag, everything's hyperbole, so it works.
And like I said, in those other anime, it happens, and everyone just kind of like pretends it didn't, and it has
Yeah,
no effect. And the fact that it covers her and makes her cry and
it makes
ruins
her cry.
the
Yeah,
situation for her. Yeah.
yeah.
He wants to challenge them, and she has to come home if he wins, and he'll give them information on the bounty if he loses. And they think it's a fight, and he's like, "No, it's not a fight. You have to come to the casino, and we'll all gamble, and whoever makes the most money
I
wins."
really hated this.
This is
And as soon
terrible.
as he said that, I was like, I'm bored. I don't even
Yeah.
want to watch this.
But the anime stops An episode 10. So this is gonna be an episode 11. Episode at the very end cuts to the invisible guy Seba and his lame partner, and they open a crepe shop. And Lou is a customer there. So this is who knows when this is happening. But because they had kidnapped Lou, they try to hide themselves. So Seba turns invisible while still holding the crepe, and they become the famous invisible floating crepes, and everyone gets one. They become super successful crepe salesmen.
Yeah.
And the other guy covered his face. He just poured the batter all
Crepe
over
batter.
his face.
Yeah.
Again, not a bad strong suit for this show, being silly.
Mhm.
This felt straight out of the Way of the House Husband, though. This is very much a.
Mm.
I mean, they don't have the superpower kind of thing, but it felt like a gag out of that. All right, the casino episode.
Move.
Shin's like, I'll play poker. I don't know the rules, but I can read mine, so I got this. Lou comes up and bothers him because she's like, you shouldn't be doing that. You don't know the rules. And he drops his card, and they all see it, and they're like, oh, he has really good cards, but he doesn't know that. So let's push him. But he hears them and is like, all in. So you just cut off all betting because they know you're going to win from your hand. So no one's going to call. You're all in. You didn't make any money except for the little bit you got the blinds and like one or two raises.
Right.
I know he doesn't know how to play, but they act like because he went all in, he doubled his money.
Yeah.
But no one else would have called that. Okay. I know that's
I also wasn't a fan of, like, I think it would have been better if Sakamoto showed like, oh, he's just so experienced with like how things work that when they started the roulette table, he was like, oh, I know where the ball's going to be because I'm so good. But no, he cheats. It's like, okay.
Yes.
But it's fine because the casino was cheating. So, and
Right.
okay.
but you're right. We hear the casino guy say, I'm going to cheat, and then Sakamoto cheats. But Sakamoto doesn't know they're cheating because
Yeah,
he
he was gonna
can't
do it.
read minds. Shin would know, and then it would make sense. But no, Sakamoto is just straight up a cheater. He cheats later, too. He's
Right.
a cheater.
So that was just for us to be like,
Yes.
don't look badly at Sakamoto. It's okay.
just-
They think they're cheating.
I don't agree with wanting Sakamoto to be. I don't want Sakamoto good at anything except for assassination, and that's why his character works. He doesn't understand anything in the world except for fighting and killing.
I just
That
don't
works
see
for me.
how that doesn't have some overlap with
Yeah.
understanding physics, where things are going to go.
Like if he's so good, he can spit a candy out of his mouth to intercept a bullet. Reading where a ball is going to go on a roulette table should be easy for him.
Yeah.
Well, you're allowed to bet until the ball, but he did bet before the ball was rolled, right?
Yeah.
I was under
did.
the impression that it was spinning before he put it down.
I can't remember.
I would have to look again, and
You're allowed to bet until the ball has until the dealer calls no more bets, right? As it starts slowing down. But I do know you're allowed to bet as it has started the spin. You don't have to wait for the throw. It doesn't matter. They end up the exact amount of money as the other guy
So
who's been playing poker, which there's no way he would have kept up. Because Sakamoto is doubling his money on red. Like if he kept doing that, that's way more than you can make in blackjack. Blackjack, and I do like that they should the card counting Wu-Tang does in blackjack. That's real. That's a real strategy. If you can track all the cards, you add the +1 and the +2. That's something you do in counting cards.
Right? Isn't that frowned upon too?
Yeah. No, they figure out you do that. You're out of the casino. You got to do it in your head and not be obvious about it. But it is something you can. But you don't go all in on blackjack and double your money. I mean, I guess you could, but even the card counting, you could still get bad random cards. All you're doing is upping your odds, so you never go all in on blackjack. You go a little bit of time, and you just try to win more than you lose. That's how blackjack works. And because you have more control than most gambling games, you can be more profitable in it. But Sakamoto has full control of roulette. he could literally
Mhm.
bet on green and like win 5 times this money, and there's no way you can keep up. Doesn't matter. I I mean, they had a single action rifle firing 3 times. Why am I caring about poker? I don't. Maybe it's because I was at the end and I was just like, no. I was freaking out this episode. The tiebreaker is they're going to play Old Maid, and I thought it was funny that the Wu Tang takes the Old Maid from Lou, who cries unless you're touching the Old Maid. Then she smiles.
Yes.
That was charming. But everyone else is losing. Sakamoto cheats, but Wu Tang calls him out. Like, if you cheat again, you'll be thrown out. But then he does cheat again to win.
Mhm.
But whatever.
And if he's
Sakamoto wins.
fast, so if he's fast enough to do that change that they did while he's pulling on the card, he was
No.
fast enough to change the cards before he even touched.
Right.
So it's like, okay.
You don't
Yeah, I
get to
want to see him
complain
in a
that
death battle.
you don't get to complain that Wile E. Coyote used ice skates instead of roller skates this time. It's all nonsensical.
Yeah,
This
Mr.
was a
Roulette.
gag. How they made their money was not a gag.
Oh, God,
Fair
I
enough.
like that. I like that. It's like, we'll just
I'll defend. I'll die on
define
this
the
hypocrisy.
rules. Define the rules as we go.
You're right.
Mhm.
Okay. The Wu Tang's men all betray him, and then Sakamoto's like, "Hey, be cool, impress Lou," and he's like, "Okay," and he's like, "Hey, I rigged all your guns to explode if you pull the trigger,"
Hmm.
and then that stalling gives Sakamoto a chance to defeat them all.
By putting him to
then-
sleep with broken necks.
Broken necks.
and head through a slot machine.
Uh-huh.
Not dead at all.
Yeah.
Then
Minor injuries.
They hire Wu Tang, and the most anger I felt since the last time I felt really angry at anime. Wu Tang's like, I have information on who placed the bounty. Have you? It's the assassin killer, and Sakamoto goes,
Slur.
"Oh, it's Slur," and Sakamoto goes, "The assassin killer," and I'm like, "What are we doing? We knew this information.
Yeah.
this is,
Didn't
and why are you acting surprised? You know Slur personally. You shouldn't be like the assassin killer. You should be like, oh, and to be fair, Shin says, I think we knew that, but
no? I think the piece of it. So correct me if I'm wrong. Did he say, "Do you know Slur Sakamoto"?
I didn't catch the last name, but I was wondering if they were brothers.
It sounded like that was the piece of information we were missing. Is I think he was implying that he's a family member of Mr. Sakamoto.
the next, okay, I sent you guys the screenshot. Sakamoto's line is the assassin killer question mark.
You mean the guy we've been tracking since like
Right.
episode 2?
The guy Shin literally talked to.
Yeah,
episodes ago. The guy Nagamo 5 episodes ago said, "Hey, there's this killer, and also there was a bounty place at the exact same time, probably by the same guy." And we're like, "Hey, I know who it is. It's this guy. We know. We're aware." And yes, Shin does say that, but the fact that Sakamoto was like, "Oh," I was so mad. I'm like, I'm done, and it is done. But the real information is that Slur broke out 4 murderers from other countries, and now they're here. And Mr. Reindeer has given them assignments because he put the reindeer head back on for no freaking reason. Guys, let's go to final scores. Anyone? I don't care.
Don't you want to talk about how awesome the new villains are that are set up for the next season? And
One of
that
them
cool
has stitches
power?
on them. Again.
One of them picks up the McDonald's table and crushes it into a concrete ball. And
Well,
the
that's a
whole ball-
gag, so it's fine.
Gag.
No, they literally called that out that was his power. They said
Yeah.
there was 4 dead bodies, one guy
Yeah,
got crushed
he
into the ball.
crushed
He
one
crushes
into a
things
little
into
ball.
balls. And Sakamoto in the very first episode took a ball and broke it into 2 and formed it into 2 more balls.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, no, that's well within the range of the Wile E. Coyote rules we've established. So I'm fine.
As far as a comedy, I didn't find this very funny. Um, as far as character development or caring about any of these characters, I just didn't. Um, Usually in pre-show, we like to start off with like, "Hey, what was your favorite scene?" I had my least favorite scene. Um, this just didn't hit any marks for me. Um, it's not bad enough to where I want to give it a 1, but it's not a 3. So I'm gonna go with a 2. It wasn't rip my hair out. I can't wait till it's over. But also I have no interest in seeing a season 2. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was actually coming into this thinking I might give it a 3, but you guys even pointed out a few things that I did not realize how egregious they were. And yeah, I want to see this anime in skit form. Just like 30-second clips, memes, just silly things. I think it would be fantastic that way. And I don't know, maybe that's the way it is in manga form or however it's presented in its original media. But like this, it's a 2 for me as well.
Yeah, trying to do gag anime, shonen battle, slice of life, all in the same time, and not nailing any one of them.
Mhm.
It hurts. Again, my biggest takeaway when I finished anime is that the story is lazy and very superficial. Like it's just showing you what it's supposed to show you. It's not making like Mr. Reindeer is not an interesting villain that they had to face. He's just a very hey, what if he had stitches and he wore a reindeer head and then weapons came out of his body parts? I've seen that kind of stuff before. There's nothing original about him. We don't get a backstory. He's just there because he needs to be there for Sakamoto to have a cool fight with someone. And One Punch Man is the same genre as this and still made the villains cool. Still made a guy who rides a bicycle is his only superpower inspirational for a whole episode. Like you can put in the work. It's not the concept. The concept here is solid. They didn't do the work to make it work. You guys might still have problems with it. I'm sure if it had done that kind of stuff, but I would have been cool with it. I had a lot of hope for this. Also, the anime itself, the visuals aren't great. Some voice casting choices, other than Sakamoto himself, no one really came out strong. I thought. I'm only going to 2. I don't think it's a 1. Yeah, I had some laughs. It's not horrific, but I didn't think it was good. And again, apologies if this was like your jam. I heard people were super excited because the manga is so good, but I don't see anything from the anime that would make me think the manga would change my mind.
Mhm.
So, would love to
Yeah,
hear if I'm wrong.
another one that kept popping in my mind was Spy X Family. Like after seeing that,
Yeah.
even though it's not my favorite, just like seeing another, hey, this is an assassin family with a little girl done really poorly.
But not only is the story really good on that, but also like they had obviously a lot more budget than
Yeah, it's much
Sakamoto
bigger.
Days, so a little unfair to
Yeah.
compare, but I get
I couldn't
what
help
you're
but think of
saying.
it though.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
looked up the studio. I didn't recognize their name. I was like, is this a Netflix? Maybe it's because this is on Netflix. I was like, maybe it's a Netflix thing. But we just watched Dawn to Dawn on Netflix, and
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Hmm.
Production was through the roof. So I don't know. Um, yeah, so just a 2 for me. If you have thoughts on Sakamoto Days, especially if we're wrong, and we are happy to be told we're wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. Please feel free to share your thoughts on our website, theanimebakaclub.com. Hit the contact us button. Let us know your thoughts. Or you can go to our Twitter at Baka Podcast or wherever you found this podcast. Feel free to leave a comment and have it come back to us, and we will try to get responses back. Up next, we have Demon Lord 2099.
It might be
He has
just
all
as
the
terrible.
he has all the
It
same
might
powers as
be.
he has all the same powers as Peter Parker, but he's different. It's in the future. Spider-Man 2099. Come on, guys.
Oh, okay.
Clearly what it's riffing off of with the name, right?
I'm sure.
Oh wow, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
There's the whole 29.9 Marvel. It doesn't.
it's the jumping spider.
What?
Yeah, they were all different kinds of spiders. That one was the jumping spider. If it's the guy from the future.
Miguel O'Hara was bit by a jumping spider?
No, his power set is supposed to mimic more of a jumping spider, if I remember
Oh.
correctly. That's why
I
he
didn't
can't shoot webs.
Well, tell me
You
what
can't
you think.
Jumping spiders. Jumping spiders
can't shoot
can, but that makes him jump more.
Tell me what you
I
think,
think.
chat.
Also, no more inside references. That's a rule.
It was to the 99 in live streaming. Never mind. You suck.
Let's say goodbye.
Thanks for listening.
Stop killing me in your mind.
Sayonara.